paddle into that and risk that. Hey, I tip my hat. This shot I wanted to include because immediately after it concluded, and that wave was probably the wave that he won the event. You know, the whole crowd storms after him. They pick him up on his shoulders. They're getting mobbed by the crowd. So us photographers, we're running. Like example, this guy. We just hold our cameras up. I shot this with. Where's my fisheye lens? It's right here. Yeah. With the K10D and this fisheye, because the fisheye gives you these great views. And all I did was aim it up, and everyone I fired from this one, they were all sharp and in focus. And what's beautiful about a fisheye is you can grab so much because of the extreme angle. And you know, you can crop down if you need more, but the beauty of fisheyes is, you know, you can be in a tight spot, you can be in especially from a photojournalism standpoint, you can just aim your camera up, just reel up as many photos as you can, and then crop how you need it. But I like this one. This one works well. You know, obviously it looks pretty happy. And here's one on the stage. This one was shot actually with this lens. That's why it's more of a normal view. It's not as distorted. By distortion, I mean how the image will bend. And these shots, there's going to be a few in a series which compares the lenses side by side. These were for a Town & Country surf ad. Town & Country makes clothing, of course surfboards if you're familiar with TNC. This is a model from Hawaii. She's also a surfer as well. This image was shot with a 16 to 45 millimeter, and that's why it gives you pretty much a straight-on normal view. But if you compare it to this is the fisheye, you can get actually very tight to the model. You can create any kind of look you want, and that's with this lens, the 10 to 17 millimeter. And I like it too, because when you use a fisheye, you can grab a lot of the sky and all the detail that's all around you. So this one, this one's actually a K100D, this little camera, and this fisheye lens. And you know what? To distinguish between the two, I like both because when I'm doing travel photography, I like look how small this is. And if you made it to any one of these limited lenses or the pancakes, you're more than welcome to look at behind the stage here. We've got a whole setup where you can look at all the equipment. If you're shooting travel or maybe people photography and you want to be discreet, it's very easy just to shoot. And a lot of people think this is just a Digicam, but it's a full-featured SLR with great build and great features, and you can pop any lens you want. And then this is like an extreme fisheye view. Well, actually, this is probably about 13 millimeter. But you can see how the Land Rover's bowing the car in the background. But this is a little fun shot with this K100D and the 10 to 17 millimeter. And this is shot like a portrait type view with the 43 millimeter and the K10. Same girl. She's about to go surf. And this is after their surf, hanging out, talking, making friends. But I like this shot because when the sun was setting, the light source, I put it behind her head, and typically that would, you know, if you didn't know how to control the light, that would silhouette, you'd lose all that detail. But what I did was I turned on the flash gun, aimed it at him, I just used a little fill flash. Oh, see, it's good you asked that. All these shots that are in the water, let's take a look. I used the K10D, and the beauty of the K10D is it takes my worry away because it's weather sealed. It's weatherproof. You know, resists moderate amount of water. It can even get rained on, dust, sand, whatever. And but just be careful, protect your gear. But what's eliminated is you don't really have to worry so much about the gear being damaged by the elements, and it pretty much can protect itself with your own care. But when I was wading in the water about waist deep, shooting these photos, angling, composing, I never had to worry about the water. So that's one of the big pluses of the K10D and its weather seal feature. And this shot, I think this is one of my last shots. This is a guy named Sean Jensen and his son Connor. He's a famous shaper out of Huntington Beach, California, but now he lives in Hawaii. He shapes surfboards for a living. This shot was actually shot at night. It's nearing dusk, it's sunset into dusk into nighttime. But the image kind of deceives you. It looks like it's maybe afternoon or daylight. I used the K10D with the 77mm 1.8, and the 1.8 f-stop or aperture denotes it's a fairly fast lens. It lets a lot of light in. As they were zipping by, I asked them, "Hey guys, turn around, I'm going to take your photo." When I got the camera ready, I enabled the shape reduction. I opened up the lens all the way to 1.8 to let as much light as I could in, and I shot it at about 1/15 of a second. And most cameras, or most photographers can't really handhold 1/15 of a second. But by allowing the shape reduction to implement itself and stabilize the image and allow that much light in, this image actually looks like daylight. But to tell you the truth, this was actually almost nightfall. So that's why I like that image. So, I hope you liked the show. I hope you learned something, surfing-wise, photography. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. And before you guys go, who's into photography? Who wants a book? Who wants a book? You can learn some skills, learn about the new cameras. Come on up, come on. Listen. And if you want, take